Hi everyone, it's Lana, your friendly neighborhood psychic, spiritual medium, and also astrologer. I wanted to do a video. It's been about a month since I posted a video on the Mercury retrograde, and wanted just to check in on you. I hope that everything is going well. I know that it has been a little bit slow. The energies have been slow. Mars is about to go into retrograde, and Mars has been conjunct with Saturn, and when Saturn and Mars become conjunct, Saturn kind of pulls Mars aside and says, "Slow down." And Mercury retrograde is in Aries, and it is about slowing down. And when you do not slow down during a retrograde, you're going to forget something, or and if you're not slowing down and taking your time and paying attention to details, you can get in serious trouble. Even in my family, my beloved niece was in a car accident last week, which she is a walking, talking miracle, and I'm hoping that you guys can send your loving prayers to her. She hurt her hand, and she needs some healing and some love sent in her direction. But she is a miracle. The car flipped over 10 times. She was wearing her seatbelt, thank goodness, and no broken bones. Just, she had some shattered glass in her hand and broke some, that tore a lot of her tendons. So right now she doesn't have use of it. And first of all, I just want to say, wow, she really has a will to live, and she is one tough cookie. And I just wanted her to know that we are all with her at this time, sending her as much love as possible. And so if you get a chance, say a prayer, light a candle, just a thought counts, so thank you for, let me share that with you, and thank you to my prayer warriors out there who listen to me and, send some love and light in her direction, and to her family, because her mother is, she's a worrywart, and, but she gave birth to a daughter as tough as nails. So I just want to put that out there. But with the Mercury retrograde, is going to go in direct on April the 15th, when your taxes are due. It still will be in shadow periods, so things will be slow to start. Back up to normal communication and stuff like that. And it will be in the shadow period until May. So please still be cautious, especially rushing yourself, and take your time. Slow down. If you do that, we have to go through Mercury retrograde 3 to 4 times a year. So we need to take time to reflect and go inward, get centered, and just reevaluate and take a breath, because we have to honor our own natural rhythm. And I know that we have such demands on us as a society, as trying to support your family and support yourself is pretty difficult, and you are just trying to but please remember to breathe. In fact, you can breathe right now. And feel that air come into your lungs and be in that presence of your heart center. And this is meditation. And meditation doesn't take 2 hours unless you want it to. If you need to center, you need to center now. If you are feeling overwhelmed, if you are feeling stressed, if you are feeling that your mind is spinning with worries and all of this internal monkey mind madness, take a moment, breathe, get into your heart space, and just breathe. You're going to get through it. You're going to get through it. But what I wanted to let you know, this slow down period that we've had, we are going to need. So, because things are going to ramp back up, and this is why I'm doing this video, because intensity. And Chiron has been in the sign of Pisces for 7 years. Now, if you don't know Chiron, I want you to look at your life and where you've been, the wounds that you've had, and the wounds that have healed, and how much you have grown as a person within these last 7 years. Okay? Because Chiron is the wounded healer. And he has a lot of Christ-like symbology behind him, because he is traveling around Uranus, which is an outer planet, which is the planet of New Age, the planet of astrology, the planet of new ideas, of technology. And so these higher thoughts, because Uranus is a higher octave of Mercury. So it represents the higher mind. Okay, so this comet, it takes energy and messages from Uranus, and then it travels to Saturn, which is the planet of human limitations, of human law, of karma, of law and government. And Saturn right now is in its natural home of Capricorn. And when Saturn is into Capricorn, it cleans house. Because Saturn doesn't like somebody who is not who they say they are. Saturn likes somebody who leads with integrity. Or karma will get them, because Saturn rules karma. And so you are going to see during this time a lot of stuff coming up about being in the spotlight of government and law. And it will probably be very uncomfortable for most of the people on the planet. And it's not just one country, it's pretty much everywhere. The mess is pretty much everywhere across the board. You don't have to take my word for it. But it's just something that, not even a psychic needs to pick up. It's just out there. It's just for everybody to see. So, and Chiron just keeps doing this elliptical movement back and forth to the higher planets, the outer planets, to the mundane planets. So it's a bridge between heaven and earth. And it allows the spiritual world and the mundane world to come together. So and is the wounded healer. So what Chiron does is he brings a light to a wound. And for the past 7 years, since 2011, Chiron has been into Pisces, shining a spotlight on the wound of Pisces. So what would that look like? Well, first of all, a lot of the opium addictions, the opium overdoses. I've had close friends that have become addicted and have overdosed. It's happening in my community. I'm sure you've seen it happening in yours. It's very devastating. My father was an opioid addict, 25 years ago and died of an overdose. So, I've been affected for this for a very long time. It's not just, now, because my dad, he was, 25 years ahead of his time. But yes, he sadly died. So I understand that, and I understand that because Pisces is about imagination and illusion and drugs, escapism. If you're on your phone too much, on the computer too much, anything that you do to escape the mundane, everyday, hard knocks world, that is the wound of Pisces. And we've seen things being exposed in religion, in our houses of worship, and we've seen big changes in these areas of religion and belief and faith. So this is what Chiron has been trying to heal, that wound of Pisces. But soon, on the 17th of April, it will be entering Aries, where it'll be addressing a new wound. And we will have looked back on how much we have evolved, especially spiritually. We are, and I know that it seems that there's a great divide, and the divide keeps getting bigger, which it will, and it's natural. It's a natural order of things when things start to change, that two sides like to bump heads. But if you breathe and you stay in your heart center, nothing can touch you. And so it is that simple. Spirit is very simple. And when we as humans complicate things the way that we like to do, we like to make things a lot more complicated. We like to put a lot of hoopla into the dramas of life. As the world turns, what's on our Trump story today, or what's going on with Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston and, all these noise, just, you don't have to pay attention, even though that it's in your face constantly. You can get back into your heart center every time you feel like you're being pulled out. But that's illusion. That's illusion. That's another Pisces wound that we have, that we are trying to clear and move past. And sometimes it gets uncomfortable. So anyway, let me move on, because Chiron is moving on for a little time. Chiron enters Aries on April the 17th and will stay for a little bit until September 25th as it retrogrades back into Pisces. So we are going to be confronted with the wound of Aries until the end of September. And then we're going to have to go revisit the wounds of Pisces to make sure that we've done our part in that. because it's going to be 84 years before the new cycle begins, before Chiron will be in Pisces again. So 84 years of evolution, you know. So, and who knows what astrology will even look like in 84 years. We might find that we have all kinds of other planets and other information and more consciousness, ways to understand how consciousness speaks to us and how energy moves through all these different layers. So every time there's always going to be more to learn. There's never enough that you can't, you know, because we're human and we like to make things more complicated, you know. So now I think I'm just rambling too much because I don't even know where I'm at. But also, as it moves, Chiron moves into Aries, we're going to face Aries-like issues. And we're going to start seeing the problems with power. You know, people with power. And Aries is about the masculine energy. And as we are in this Mercury retrograde in Aries, it dealt with that masculine energy, trying to slow that masculine energy down. Because the masculine energy is a little sometimes brash and sometimes abrasive and just a go-getter and doesn't slow down and think about what it's doing before it does it. And so we are kind of slowing down that energy right now. And then Chiron is going to come in and expose what it is that we need to clear out. And expose that wound of Adam, that wound of Aries, the wound of war, the wounds of birth, of renewal, you know. So, and there are going to be more pioneers, because Aries also rules new thought, because it's the birth of something new. And there are going to be pioneers, and, you know, I could be one of them, but spiritual pioneers, spiritual warriors, they are going to rise up and going to be help with this Me Too movement. That is part of it. This feminine energy. There's going to be a lot of revolution, and that's going to also play in with the changeover with Uranus, which is leaving Aries and moving into Taurus, and that new energy that we have brought in with Chiron being in Pisces, bringing that, clearing that energy, that old energy out, bringing that new energy in, and helping to move us forward. And now we get to ground that in, because Uranus is in May, is in Taurus, the end of April or beginning of May. I can't remember as of right now, but it is moving. And when it gets into Taurus, you're going to know it, because when Uranus, 7 years ago in 2011, because Chiron and Uranus move at the same speed, it takes 7 years for them to sometimes get out of a house or get out of a sign of that zodiac. And that in 2011, when Uranus moved in to Aries, the Fukushima explosion in China happened. That nuclear power plant that poisoned our waters. Now here we got Uranus here, and she goes into Aries and she causes an explosion, and then Chiron just entered Pisces. And Pisces is about water and healing that water. So you see how this energy shows itself and expresses itself in action. So when Uranus moves into Taurus, expect the unexpected, because she is somebody who comes when Uranus gets there, everybody knows she's there. Everybody know, because she come in a bang. She leave in a bang, she come in a bang. You don't know what to expect. But thankfully she's in Taurus, so Taurus will ground that energy, and hopefully it won't be as disastrous as it was when she entered Aries, which is butting and explosion and doer, and so hopefully that energy will be a lot calmer. But expect change nonetheless. It just might not be as up in your face, but it's still going to be there, and you're still going to feel it, especially Tauruses. I'm a Taurus, so this is hitting my chart in many, many ways. So if you are watching my videos for the next 7 years, you're going to see me transition and go through many different layers and in many ways, because I have a lot of aspects with Uranus, and so I expect my world to be shaken, and let's see where I'm at. So I just want you to be prepared for what's coming. I want you to take a look at yourself and how much you've grown in the past 7 years. There's more to come. We're gonna do this again, but I I'm excited. I'm excited for this new adventure. I'm excited for these times. Yes, they're so uncertain, but I'm okay. You're okay. We're all okay. And I want to enjoy the ride. It's just like being on a roller coaster. Just put your hands up and scream your head off. Thank you very much. I hope that you're still watching, but I also have some cards here for you, so I can give you a little bit of what. I have my candle here, and I want to make sure that they're all nice and any bad mojo was off of them. And so I want to see what to expect, what the energy will be like until next month, May the 13th, let's say. April the 13th is when I'm doing this, and then till May the 13th. Okay, so expect your finances to get better this month. I'm sure it's been slow coming, especially for my fellow Virgos. Mercury retrograde has affected you financially, and hopefully this month will be a better month coming out of the retrograde. And we also, on the 15th, as Mercury leaves retrograde, we get a new moon. So it is the perfect time to plant your seeds of intention, of what you want to bring forth within yourself and what you want to bring forth in your life. This month, there's been two themes. It's been grief, and it has been letting go and refinding oneself, rebirth. So transformation is really big, is really going on a massive scale and on an individual scale. That's Chiron. He's going through the mass consciousness to the individual consciousness, and I just wanted you to know about Chiron and know that energy, and learn that language that with the celestial bodies and how they speak to us. And we could go even further and deeper into that and talk about how the fixed stars talk to the planets and the planets talk to us, and then, but that's just another story for another time. And so, and also we have, okay, the Magician and the Mirror. So this is about balance, finding balance in your life with that. And I've talked about this before in my last video about the male, the female, and the yin, the yang. Finding that balance within and knowing that the two are actually alike. They just express themselves differently. They could not be without each other. So embrace the opposites. It is okay that they contradict each other, but they allow each other to shine in their own light. They allow freedom in their expression, even though the root is the same. And so find balance. If someone disagrees with you, understand that that is where they are and that is their truth at that time. It may change for them, it may not. But you don't have to carry that burden to change their truth, because truth changes. As we evolve, so does truth. So, and truth can only be known by you. Only you can know what your truth is at this time. Because, again, everything changes except for you. This internal sacred space, that God within you, the God within me, because God is here within my heart, and this is where God sits, and that's where God sits for you. So that, namaste, the God in me sees the God within you, and we all are gods also. I'm God also. You are God also. And right now we are in a transition where we may get to graduate. And what does that mean when we get to graduate? It means, do you want to go away and go to college and you leave your childhood behind? We don't need God as a crutch anymore. We have to do for ourselves. We have to be compassionate. We have to be the leaders. We have to be the change. We have to be the heroes that we're looking for. We have to be that on the inside for ourselves and not for other people. And I am proud of who I am. I get a little nervous about doing these videos because I am not confident about doing them and about putting my message out there. And, but as soon as I turn this screen on, I'm just like, I've always done this. But getting myself to do it and being consistent because, I'm different. I've always known I'm different. And I embrace it. But I never know how other people will embrace me. I've always felt like the outsider, but I'm sure that you have always felt like an outsider too. And some people just have an easier way just to blend in, and I just don't like blending in. I don't feel like that's necessary, because I like who I am. I like who I am, and I'm proud of where I've come from, even though that I come from a lot of heartache, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of suffering, a lot of, issues that I'm sure that you have faced yourself. I came into this life and I picked a tough one. I in 2000, I buried my child. I lost my child. And I'm here 17 years later, and I'm okay, and she's okay. And I still see her. I started painting because she showed up to me in a dream and showed me paintings that I had done. And I'd never picked up a paintbrush before in my life. And I said, who done these paintings? And she said, you did, Mommy. And so I woke up, I went to the store, I got me some watercolor paints, started painting, and then, moved on to acrylic. And I really haven't done too much, in the past month or two. I do it when I feel it. But lately I've been a little lazy and a little slow, and and trying to, get this dream going, because there's been a lot of bumps on the road, with my transition to present my message and bring it forward, and, me believing in myself that, I can do this, because there are certain people that I want to believe in me, but they just don't understand, and I have to, okay, well, that's okay, you don't understand, but I still got to do this, I still got to be able to give myself that voice, and put myself out there and be that teacher that I already am. My youngest son just turned 13, and my daughter is 20, and my oldest son is 24, and it's like my time as a mom is sort of almost at the end, and my daughter that passed away would be 18 in July, which seems to be very significant for me, because even if she was alive, I would still have to let her go. It would still be time to move on and to allow her to do what she needed to do. So I feel like everything is happening at the right time, the way it needed to. And there's nothing that I can regret. And after being in a car accident in November, nearly losing my husband, I almost lost him too. And I got him back, with our, we got him back to where he's back at work, and he's doing pretty good. He's in a lot of pain, but he's suffering in silence. He's a stubborn man, but I still love him. He's, but what husband isn't? But we're making it. We're getting through, and but there's no guarantee that it will always be this way. I can't plan the rest of my life thinking that everything will stay the same, because the only thing that stays the same is that everything changes. Everything changes. And you have to be willing to let it go when it's gone. And you have to be willing to put freedom first. Your freedom. And when you attach yourself to someone, you become hypnotized and pulled into their life, into their drama, and sometimes you can forget about yourself. And I have been a codependent caretaker because, I was born to two very sick parents, They didn't have anybody to take care of them. I've been, taking care of people since I was 3 years old. I could cook and make my whole family a dinner at 3 years old. And I never had time to be a kid when I was a kid. And so now that I have kids, it's sort of like I grew up with them. That was my childhood. And they had to have the best childhood because I wanted to live that through them. And, I believe that, I'm a kick-ass mom. And I love my kids. They love me. My children are my favorite people in the whole entire world. And I'm grateful to my husband because he helped me raise them. And, and that's another story. I mean, I could probably go on with this for a while. But okay, let's get back to the business. And what I'm here to do, okay, is the magician balance. You are the magician. All you need to do is keep the balance, keep the center, be in that heart center, and abundance is yours. You have the abundance that you need. And let's see. What can my viewers expect for the month of through April the 13th to May the 13th? All right. Okay. So, in the middle of all this, we have the 9 of spirals, which is the wind. I hope you can see this. The wind of change. The wind of change. So the wind of change is blowing into your life at this time, and the foundation, the 2 of spirals, which is balance. The magician, he was about balance, keeping it centered. You have to remain balanced and centered during this time of transition. You might feel some despair. You may feel some despair because of some truths that you've uncovered. You're scared. Illusions, shining light in the dark, and being scared about what you're going to find. All right, it's okay. It's okay. Change is good. It's not comfortable. It's not always easy. It's almost never easy, but it's good. And allow yourself to grieve over it. Allow that grief out because, grief can reveal a lot about ourselves that we need to see. It helps us take all that gunk off our soul to see that light inside, to see that strength. We have to sometimes get that brick wall, to hit us right upside our head in order to see that we're stronger than that brick wall. We're bigger than that brick wall. And we can climb it, we can jump it, we can fly over it, we can dig a tunnel under it, and we still get through it. But And also, I got this card about heartbreak. So the grief will continue. This stuff needs to emerge and needs to clear itself out because you are getting in touch in your heart center and you need to release it, to let it go. And I hope that my reading helped. I hope I didn't confuse you too much. And I hope that I get to do this more often. I surely enjoyed it. Enjoy talking to you. And I hope that you enjoy listening to me. And you can ask me any questions. Feel free. Look for me at Lana K. Hooper at Facebook.com, on Facebook, Lana K. Hooper. You can find me on Instagram, Psychic Lana, and you can send me an email, psychiclana@gmail.com. If you want to talk to me or message me, if you want me to do a reading, if you want me to just do something for fun, if you want me to do like a tarot reading about a celebrity or something like that and have a little bit of fun with it, we can do that. I mean, I'm open to your suggestions. I'm very playful. I'm very lighthearted. So, I don't bite. Not very hard anyway. So, just thank you for being here. And I do have you 2 candles lit. I don't know if you can tell, but it's green. It kind of looks blue under the light. But it's green and it's for healing. It's for opening that heart chakra, that heart space, your temple, your seat of your soul. And I really want to get you there. And then I got a white candle lit for you to light your potentials along the way, that you can rise above the suffering and the pain, that you realize it's just an illusion, that you realize that you are still there, you're still strong. Yeah, you got lemons, but you made some lemonade. You got some lemons, make some lemonade, move on. Remember to take care of yourself. Please be gentle with yourself. Please remember to slow down. Slow down. Stop when you're feeling overwhelmed, to take a breath. Be present. Be present in your heart space. Be present in you. Be present in your life. That's all life requires. It's very simple. It's very easy. And enjoy. Enjoy the gifts of life. Block out all the madness. Disconnect from it. And sit with yourself. And start to love yourself. And let that love shine. My spiritual warriors, you are going to be on call. You are going to be on call. And you need to get prepared. You got to do what you got to do to clear that path. Because there's many more people that are going to need us. They're going to need our light. We need to make ourselves available. We need to put our message out there. And we just need to shine. All right? I'm here for you anytime, day or night. Remember, rewind the video. I gave you my Facebook where you could message me. I gave you my email where you could message me. I gave you my Instagram where you can message me. So don't be a stranger. All right? Lots of love to you. Lots of blessings to you. You're going to get through it. It's going to be okay. You're going to be stronger than ever. You're going to see your light, and that just brings me joy. So heart-to-heart hugs. Have a blessed and beautiful one. Namaste.